Hey everybody, it's Pixelated Pat, and I'm about to tell you why I left Instagram for YouTube. Alright, so maybe that's a little bit dramatic, seeing as it's more of a break than it is me leaving Instagram for good, but I figured I might as well talk about it for anyone who's curious as to why I essentially walked away from an account with over 7,000 followers, and the reason might shock you. Anyways, jokes aside, let's get things underway and answer the question, why did I leave my Instagram account when I was so close to 10,000 followers? Cue the intro. So as many of you who've been following me for a while know, I'm a pixel artist and nuzlocke from Instagram, and I got my start creating TCG content. After seeing some of my greatest numerical success as a content creator last year after generating over 5 million views and over 6,000 followers, I decided to walk away from all of it to essentially start from scratch in a medium I was woefully unfamiliar with. Truth is, I'm still figuring it out as I go, but I digress, add my reasons, and hopefully you'll understand by the end of the video. So the first of two main reasons that I want to discuss with you guys today is the fact that Instagram can just be an unbearably toxic place at times. Yeah, no, that's not the most shocking statement you'll ever hear, and one thing I do want to make clear is it's not like I don't understand that toxicity is just a part of internet culture at this point, and I definitely didn't start my YouTube journey without expecting to occasionally receive toxic comments myself. After all, I'm a Pokemon page committing the great sin of not knowing everything. But I digress. I feel like the general atmosphere of Instagram has been more negative than it used to be due to Instagram Reels attracting audiences from the realm of TikTok after the impact said application had on social media as a whole. While I've often wondered if there's a link between the short attention span the platform perpetuates and the instinct to project word vomit, which serves less to criticize the content and more to curse illiterate, I really noticed a rising toxicity in my own comment section after I became a Reels-focused content creator. I could really go on about this forever, but I don't think anyone has said it better than the homie Roc Sandy.
Now, if you look, you will see some sort of pattern here. No argument, no proof, just toxicity. As I mentioned before, nowadays it's not how much evidence or how good your argument is, it's whoever can do the better I gotcha moment.
Shout out to Roc Sandy for letting me use that clip. Don't forget to drop him a sub and hit the link in the description below to check out his video about toxicity in Pokemon. That reminds me of another point Roc mentioned in his video, and that's that I truly do wish more of these comments have been actual criticism, because getting the opportunity to experience another perspective you might not have otherwise considered and just learning new information in general is something you should never take for granted. After all, growing together is what Pokemon is all about. However, comments like these do the community absolutely no favors. It's a shame because this is exactly the kind of behavior that drives new people from wanting to experience what the community truly has to offer. Now, one thing I want to say real quick is it's not like everybody on Instagram is toxic. In fact, the Pokemon community over on Instagram is one of the best corners of the whole community, and I feel very lucky to say that I've made lifelong friends on the platform that I'm grateful are a part of my daily life. With that being said, what I'm more talking about is my experience as a content creator on the platform, specifically as a Reels focused creator. While it was easy to shrug off in the beginning and I would often just delete comments due to the fact that I in no way wanted to welcome that energy into my audience's experience, after a while I started to fight fire with fire, which in the end turned out to be a huge waste of energy and did absolutely nothing to make the situation better. Needless to say, it really didn't bring out the best in me, and while I recognize that my reaction has more to do with me than anything, one of the reasons why it would end up pushing me away from the platform in the end is when it came down to how many of these toxic comments started coming from my own audience. Whether it was due to the fact that I was doing a regular run instead of a randomizer, making quote-unquote newbie misplays in a low-diff ROM hack where I screwed around more than anything because it was too easy to take seriously, when I wouldn't share ROM links in public forums no matter how much I explained that doing so is one of the ultimate contributors to Nintendo taking down communities like Relic Castle, or even when it got to the point where people would DM me for days at a time leaving creepy voice notes, the fact that the majority of this was coming from my own audience over a 4-month run for basically no reason was alarming to say the least, especially when it turned into my other followers that supported me getting harassed in the comment section. By the end of the run, I'd already checked out mentally and really only continued posting out of obligation to everyone who had been enjoying the run. While the legendary battle I had with Red where I won by the skin of my teeth would go on to reignite my passion for Pokemon battles and put the fire back in my belly, I was having reservations about whether or not I wanted to continue with Instagram as the primary source to exercise my creativity. However, due to the fact that not everybody in my Instagram following is toxic, like I said, the community over there really does have some of the best people you'll ever have the pleasure of connecting with, I decided to move forward with Pokemon Gaia, and even though I was ready to hit the ground running, something just felt off in my soul, which leads me to the next and most important reason why I left Instagram for YouTube, and that's because I just wasn't satisfied with my content anymore. While I could easily pump out daily content on the platform, hit 10 million views, surpass 10k followers, I just got to a point where creating content for Instagram just didn't feel right for me anymore. It's a very similar feeling to back when I made the choice to move on from my aspirations as a guitarist and music producer and that's the feeling of displacement. Like, I wasn't serving the desire of my soul and its connection to the creative force which drives content creators across all mediums. Now, I know I just described it like a Flash's connection to the speed force, but I digress. I ultimately came to the realization that no matter how many likes or views I generated, nothing compares to the feeling of pushing myself in the ways of my craft. For that reason, I honestly feel kind of silly that I spent so much time chasing likes and how much time I spent stressing over trying to get them, when what I should have been focusing on in the first place is challenging myself to create better content. In my own personal opinion, there's no better feeling than creating a piece of content that you're proud of, and the rush of excitement I feel when I draw from the fires of creation can never be matched. Well, that about covers why I left Instagram for YouTube, but before we conclude, I just want to take a moment to extend my sincerest apologies to everybody from my Instagram following who was disappointed by my switch to YouTube. While I certainly never expected to lose as many followers as I did after I came to YouTube, or for the interest in my channel from my audience over there to be as low as it was never my intention to disappoint anyone who genuinely enjoys my content over there. While it's not like I'm never going to post on Instagram again due to how much I love creating pixel art, or leave the account for good due to how many amazing friendships I've been blessed with during my time on the platform, what I'm doing now is what I need to do for me to be happy. It's been a while since I've been able to say that I'm truly in love with what I'm doing, and I hope you guys understand that nothing will ever change the fact that I'll always be grateful for the support that you showed me and the memories we made during my time as a content creator on Instagram. Now that I'm putting all of my focus on YouTube, I hope that my company over there will be good enough for you, because it's always been enough for me. And if there's anything you take away from this video, it's that nothing is more important than your own happiness, and to always do what you love no matter what anyone has to say about it. At the end of the day, there's nothing I love doing more than creating Pokemon content. Whether it's the community that comes with it or the process of content creation itself, there's so many things about this experience we're celebrating for the way that they enrich my life on a daily basis. For that reason, I'm filled with nothing but gratitude for all of you absolute legends who made the jump over to YouTube from Instagram with me, as well as everybody who's new to the channel. Aside from creating the best content that I can and loving what I do, my ultimate goal as a content creator is to create a safe space for everybody who just wants to relax and enjoy themselves while they unwind after a long day to watch some Pokemon videos. And you guys are going a long way in helping me create that space. I'm eternally grateful for what we have going on over here, and I can't wait to see what comes next in our journey together. That being said, that's all I got for you today, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Pixelated Pat, signing off.